Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a lovely little interview that we have here for the DCCS. We're going into a new season here, a very unique one indeed. If you guys don't know, my name is Travesty, and I am joined here by the Evil Geniuses Discord team captain, Cursed Wolf. Cursed Wolf, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well. Quarantine, just trying to make it through like everybody else. Playing a ton of
Look.
League in the time.
I understand that. Look, you got to at this point in time, right? Like you gotta get the grind going. You're stuck inside anyway, so might as well spend it on the Rift. Uh, that does draw into a very interesting point. Cursed Wolf, you are in a very unique scenario going into the season. You were one of the new teams that came into the DCCS with the influx of new franchise teams coming in. Uh, Tell me, how was the process of you going between this season from last season? Because you guys had a bit of a shaky roster, and your roster really and truly doesn't look at all the same as what you previously had.
Right, right, right. Last season, actually, you were kind of ahead. You were kind of in the lead of EG. You did all the recruiting. I originally was a sub player for EG,
Hmm.
so there was a. It was interesting because I was like, oh, I'm a sub player. I'll play for half the time. But then there was a lot of players that wouldn't be as committed as they said they would. So I ended up playing very frequently. And halfway through, I asked for the opportunity to become the team captain and help out with that way. And we tried, but we
Hmm.
ended up dead last season. So one of the things I did talk to, and Mo Nizzle, who is the head of the captain of Team Liquid, actually helped me out a lot uh, in the recruiting process and how to recruit, and he was very helpful. So thanks to him that way. But
Well, that's
I think we do have a pretty good roster for this season. We're looking to top two at least.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. I love to hear about the little bit of camaraderie coming out between the captains as well. You get to hear that some people are just like, yeah, here you go. That Team Liquids, Mo Nizzle was part of the championship team from the previous season. So very, very good to be able to hear something like that. And you said you're aiming for top two now, and you've got some interesting faces inside of it. One that I'm going to go ahead and directly go over to is Scion, was a star player on a Hundred Thieves Discord up until playoffs, where some unfortunate events had occurred and was officially benched for the remainder of that season. Hundred Thieves still did have a good playoff run without Scion, but Scion is definitely a very notable player inside of the DCCS. How has having Scion inside the team helped you guys out, and does it open you guys up for some more opportunities?
Oh, for sure. I think Cyan and I actually were teammates 2 seasons ago in 100 Thieves.
Hmm.
So we got to know each other a lot then. We built a good friendship then, and we actually have a lot of synergy. So as soon as that happened with 100 Thieves, Cyan was definitely one that I was trying to keep an eye out for to make sure that I could, get them into my team. And thankfully, we have the same uh, style of play within the Rift, so we
Hmm.
have the same general idea. And with throughout our roster, we all have the same way we want to play the game, which is really hard to find. We went through a lot of people that were whether we wanted to fight too much, wanted to fight too little. So
Hmm.
finding that balance has definitely been the most challenging part about the roster building for sure.
Okay, so during the off season, you were like, yeah, Scion, you're coming over. You ready to get evil?" I like to hear that, man. I already had a game plan going into this season coming up, and you guys were one of the teams I do know was you were starting the building process. You had a lot to rebuild, like you were talking about. It was your turn as captain. You were recruiting. You got the experience to kind of help out with that and learn how to get all that stuff situated for yourself. Now, with the new format, since DCCS we always try to do a season that's in between the off seasons, right? You want to have it where it's between the spring and summer. And unfortunately, due to everybody being quarantined, locked up inside their own homes, and then MSI getting pushed around, summer and spring don't have as big of a gap. So we had to change up the schedule. So now, for the very first time ever, DCCS has what's less like a season and more like a tournament format. Are you excited at all for a group this type of format? How are you feeling going into it?
Oh, I'm really excited because I think as a team we've put in the time and done our homework in the off season to prepare and to play a lot together to build up that synergy that a lot of teams aren't going to have the time to now that the season is a lot shorter. And there's less experimentation for us that we have to do with the roster. We've done all of that experimenting in the off season, so it's been. I think it's going to work out in our favor.
All right, that's fantastic. And you know your groups now. We released our groups actually earlier on in the weekend before we started off everything. So you know what group you're in. You're in a group with the defending champs, Team Liquid, who you were just talking about earlier, and a mystery in Fly Fam. So tell me, is there any teams or any players individually that you're kind of concerned or watching out for going into your group?
Well, I'll start with Fly because I think
Hmm.
Team Liquid deserves to be the last. Fly, I actually we haven't had the chance s- to scrim them. I
Hmm.
do know I played with 100 Thieves when Nario was, you know, back there too, and he's
Hmm.
a pretty good AD carry. He's positioned pretty well. His Caitlyn is pretty good. Uh, and Justin Rockin I know has been wasn't he on Team Liquid last season?
No, Justin Rockin has been on Fly actually for the past 2 seasons, I believe.
Gotcha. I know he's pretty good as well. So that's two to watch out for definitely in our games against Fly Municipal's team. They actually have some pretty good ones. Hemo, is always pulling out the cheese picks top, so you can't you can't ever just assume that he's not gonna randomly pick Corky top or something like that. So that's pretty good. Uh, Monizel, one of the top 80s, I think. So that's another one, and just the fact that the coaching staff and their organization has been there and did win last season.
Yep.
They're a little bit more organized and established. So you can't count him off, even
Yeah.
if you're ahead.
I hear you. I hear you. So I'm gonna flip it around real quick. We're gonna flip over, look at the other group, right? Because you will have to fight the other group when it comes down to playoffs. Once we get into that bracket, you guys will find yourselves in a situation where you're more than likely be taking on somebody from the other side of the bracket. That is going to be Dignitas, 100 Thieves, and I believe that's also going to be Immortals. So, but those three teams right there, is there a particular team that you're saying, please let me not face? And is there a team that you're like, give me them? This is the freest win I could ever find.
Well, the team that I think top three in no
Hmm.
particular order is going to be Team Liquid, EG, and 100 Thieves based on scrims results. 100 Thieves actually has a pretty scary roster with Eddie, who's really really good Yasuo. So he's Jinwoo, who's also been pretty consistent in the mid lane.
Hmm.
And I think Sploke knows what he's doing as team captain. So I think they're going to be very, very competitive this season. So I can't wait to play them. I think we've gotten to scrim them once. So it's definitely going to be a little bit more too. As far as a team that I'm not too concerned about, I think it would be IMT.
Okay.
I do think that Mystery Van is really good in the mid lane.
Okay.
But I think that that's the only threat in the team. So we can just focus. We can just
Ooh.
ban the Malzahar and you know
Hey,
keep it
they got Dwayne the Rock over there, man, formerly known as Applehead over there too. That's some shots fired
right.
his way. He's every season he's played, he's made it into playoffs.
The thing about Apple is that he said that he was going to be more in the backseat.
Ah.
So see that, yeah, I've done my research, man.
See, Curse Wolf is prepared. This is one calculated and hungry wolf indeed. Well, with that being said, I want to thank you, Curse, for coming in. Is there any words that you would like to say to anybody who is watching EG this season?
Yeah, just keep an eye out for Evil Genius. We definitely have a bunch of veterans that are very very strong in their positions. And we're bringing in a bunch of new people too that are extremely talented that you guys are going to definitely get to know in the DCCS. So we'll uh
All
we'll try our best and definitely top two for sure.
I'll be looking forward to it. A top two team. Apparently, heard it here from Cursed Wolf himself. I want to thank you for your time here today. Best of luck when you start off on your campaign for top two inside of the DCCS. And we'll see if you'll be able to turn that into a number one for yourself. With that being said, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning on in. Make sure you tune in for DCCS starting at 4 p.m. EST on Saturdays and Sundays. That goes on from 4, 5, and 6. So there's 3 games that are all going to be action packed. We'll see you guys there.